We have allowed our disappointments and defeats to take over our lives. We have allowed our shortcomings and mistakes to make us feel like we are not worthy of God's love. Yeah. We have talked ourselves out of allowing the power of God to be at work in our lives. Yeah. The enemy has sent us on a run, and instead of running on to see what the end is going to be, we have laid down. Yeah. In the midst of this dangerous and unforgiving world, I come to tell you that it is not in our best interest for us to lay down. Yeah. If you decide to lay down instead of getting back up, you will lose. If you decide to lay down instead of getting back up, you will suffer. If you decide to lay down instead of getting back up, you will miss what the Lord is trying to do in your life. We as people of God misinterpret God and what he wants from us when we lay down instead of standing up. It was Donnie McClurkin who said, we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down, but didn't stay there. He got back up. I come to tell somebody today that God wants us to stand up. It does not matter how you ended up on the ground. It does not matter how long you've been on the ground, but God wants you to stand up. In church, we don't lose by falling down. We lose by staying down. But God wants us to be steadfast and firm in our convictions. Being a believer is not just about having faith. Being a believer is about having faith and sticking to it. We cannot lay down when the enemy is on our track. We have to realize that the God that we serve has our back. And when the enemy gets behind us, it's not time to lay down, it's time to stand up. But in our text, we see that there had been a drought in the land where Elijah lived. He had predicted this drought because of the rebellion of the children of Israel against our Creator. Elijah told Ahab, who was the king of Israel and Samaria, that Ahab was wrong for following Baal. Elijah told Ahab to summon the children of Israel and all the priests and bring them together on Mount Carmel. Then Elijah told them, you can't worship God and worship Baal. And guess what the people said? They said nothing. So he decided to set up a challenge with his followers and the people who follow Baal. And he said that Baal was a bronze idol and Baal was supposed to control the rainfall. And due to how the Israelites lived, they were foreign people, they depended on the rainfall for their survival. That's right. Elijah decided to put our God to the test against their God. And I want to suggest that he did this because he knew the history of Yahweh. He knew what kind of power came behind that name. He knew that our God created the heavens and the earth, the oceans and the lakes, the mountains and the valleys, the fruits and the vegetables, human beings and animals, everything that we see and everything that we don't see. He had been made aware of who the true and living God was. He knew that there was not power in a bronze statue. He knew that there was not power in government officials. And he knew that the current king of Israel wasn't the real king of Israel. He knew who looked like they had the power and who actually had the power. Let the church say Elijah wasn't no fool. But people of God, when an obstacle comes up, it's not time to lay down, it's time to put God to the test. And when I say put God to the test, I mean try God out. Because anytime you try him, he will show you who he is. The word says he can do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can ask or think. If you want more love, try Jesus. If you want more peace, try Jesus. If you want more joy, try Jesus. If you want more wisdom, try Jesus. If you want more understanding, try Jesus. If you want to be a better person, try Jesus. Our ancestors would say, try Jesus, he's all right. Try Jesus, he's all right. I done tried him, and he's all right. But some of us have tried everything else, and we wonder why we in the shape that we in. Some of us have said, I never thought I'd be struggling with this at this time. I never thought that this many folk would be against me. I never thought that I would have to live like this. But I come to tell you that we serve a God who will help you up if you just find the courage to get up. So the priests of Baal lifted up their arms and called on their God to send them a fire. Then Elijah called on our God to send a fire. And then instantly there was a fire. But the fire didn't come from their God. The fire came from our God. Church, Elijah helped the fire to burn in the hearts of the people of God. He helped them to see who really had the power. He helped them to see who they really needed to depend on for survival. Elijah rescued his people from destruction. He taught his people a more excellent way to believe. He showed his people the need of believing in a God who can make things happen. After this, he then told his servant to tell King Ahab that the drought was over and it was going to rain. And then Ahab saw the rain and he went and told Jezebel. Now this is where it gets interesting. The NIV Study Bible says that Jezebel's reputation was so notorious that Elijah ran from her in fear, even after God had shown him God's power. Now Jezebel's father was a high priest in Tyre who murdered the king, and then he took over for 32 years. Jezebel came from some ruthless folk. And Jezebel followed in her father's footsteps. And she married Ahab as a political alliance, and she began to influence Ahab to worship Baal. People of God, anytime you get with somebody and they push you away from God, that's somebody you don't need to be with. Her influence ended up making Ahab the most wicked king in the history of Israel. And this is where we come in our text today. We see Elijah running from this wicked woman, Queen Jezebel. After he had stood up before the people and said what the Lord told him to say, we find Elijah running. You may ask, how in the world did he run? I would like to suggest that he ran because he knew what Jezebel was capable of. But more importantly, he forgot what God was capable of. It is so strange that after he reminded the children of Israel who God was and what God could do, he himself ended up forgetting. But ain't that just like us? After God has performed miracle after miracle in our lives, we allow one bad circumstance to make us forget what the Lord can do. After the people forgot, he reminded them. But after he forgot, God reminded him. It's ironic that in the text he started out bold, but now we see Elijah backing down. Church, we cannot lay down after God has empowered us to stand up. God calls us to be believers, and as believers we are called to be leaders. And we cannot lead this world toward Christ and we just lay down and wait to die. You may ask, well, how do we lay down in today's time? I'm glad you asked. When we focus more on living on the streets paved with gold rather than fixing the unpaid roads down here, we lay down. When we focus on long white robes over yonder instead of those who don't have clothes in Bolivar, we are laying down. When there are just as many black men in jail as it is in prison, in college, we are laying down. When other races own more businesses in our communities than we do, we are laying down. Lord help me. When we focus on what we'll do when we get to heaven instead of what we can do to make this world better, we are laying down. It's good to talk about heaven, but my granddaddy always used to say, you have to live before you get there. But we also need to look at what happens when telling the truth gets you in trouble. You may ask Reverend Young, how in the world can the truth get you in trouble? The truth can get you in trouble because the truth offends those who are living a lie. For example, the truth is like alcohol or peroxide to a wounded person. It sometimes hurts when you apply it, but it's necessary for healing. It can lead some folk to get enough feelings, but it is needed to get us free. The word teaches us that you shall know the truth, and it shall make you free. Worshiping material things won't set us free. Waiting on the government won't set us free. Waiting on politicians won't make us free. Waiting for a handout won't make us free. Only the God who made us and sustained us can make us free. Whom the Son sets free is free indeed. The truth is this. Baal isn't the God of this world. Satan isn't the God of this world. And Trump, sure enough, ain't the God of this world. God sent his Son. They called him Jesus. He came to love, heal, and forgive. He lived and died to beg my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. So when the time comes, we should not back down when we are called to tell the truth. But why after God brought Elijah back up, he went right back and laid down? I would like to suggest that he laid down because he overestimated the power of his enemies and underestimated the power of God. When we make our enemies into something they could never be, we end up setting ourselves up for failure. How can we overestimate an enemy and underestimate God? The word says, if God be for us, then who can be against us? I'm not concerned about who is against me. I'm focused on who can uplift me. We shouldn't be worried about who left us high and dry or who put us down low. We should be focused on the one who sits high and then he looks low. We shouldn't worry about the ones who talk behind our back. We should keep our focus on the one who has our back. Church, after God picks us up, how dare we lay back down? Jesus did not walk through this earth saving, setting free, and delivering just for us to lay down. Our ancestors did not get treated like second-class citizens and overcome just for us to lay back down. The Holy Spirit gives us access to too much power for us to lay back down. The word says that the Lord came to Elijah a second time and told him to strengthen himself for the journey ahead. All that God was saying to Elijah was, the obstacle that's in your way is a part of your way. There's a book written by Ryan Holiday called The Obstacle is the Way. And the point that he makes is the obstacles that come up in our lives, we should run to them instead of running from them. People of God, how can we be victorious if we never have to fight? How can we be the light of the world if we never overcome the darkness? can we be soldiers for Christ if we don't defeat the soldiers of Satan? Yeah. Life can be a fight, but with God, the fight is fixed. Yeah. We may get knocked down, but God won't let us get knocked down. Yeah. We may get crucified, but God will resurrect us. Yeah. We may have to lay down sometime, but God will grab our hands and lift us. Somebody ought to be able to say, when they push you down, you gotta get back up. Yeah. When they push you down, you gotta get back up. Push the dirt off your jersey and go for the trophy. Yeah. You a champion no matter what. Yeah. So please don't neglect going through the obstacles. Yeah. Please, child of God, embrace the obstacles. Yeah. Don't you dare lay down. Yeah. God wanna see you get back up. Yeah, I sinned, but I got back up. Yeah, I told lies, but I got back up. I disappointed myself, but I got back up. I disappointed God, but I got back up. I just can't give up now. Come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, but I don't believe you brought me this far to leave me. The race is not given to the strong. The race is not given to the swift. The race is given to the one who holds on until the end. We should be able to keep our minds on getting up. But while we're getting up, we can learn some lessons. A good lesson we can learn is from one of the slowest creatures that God ever created. That creature I'm talking about is a land snail. In 2011, a man from the University of Japan fed tiny land snails to Japanese white birds to see if they could pass through the digestive system of the birds. About 15% survived the journey, which proved for the first time that land snails can survive digestion. But watch this. It said that they survived the digestion because land snails have a shell. Somebody ought to sympathize with that snail and say, I may not be the fastest. I may not be the most beautiful. I'm counted out most of the time, but I still can survive. Even when the enemy tried to swallow me up, I survived. Even when my back was against the wall, I survived. You may ask, how in the world did you survive? I survived because of my shell. There's a shell wrapped around me and there's a shell wrapped around you. That shell has us wrapped up, tied up, and tangled up. That shell is a hedge of protection. That shell is the Holy Spirit. The Romans tried to take Jesus' life, but he had a shell around him. They tried to humiliate him, but he had a shell around him. They falsely accused him, but he had a shell around him. They treated him like 3/5 of a human, but he had a shell around him. They chose a murderer over a Messiah, but he had a shell around him. And the enemy tried to make him lay down, but he had a shell around him. And when it came time to get up, he knew it wasn't time to lay down. And they hung him high. They stretched him wide. He hung his head, and you knew he died. But that's not how